Humane recommends. Access humane.uk.net.
In this Humane Recommends we read a sample of the article, Race, Ethnicity and Disability, the Financial Impact of Systemic Inequality and Intersectionality. The National Disability Institute has published an article about how race, ethnicity and disability financially impacts people's lives during the COVID-19 pandemic, using the intersectional approach to the matter of systemic inequality. Intersectionality, as the article puts out, an individual's lived experience is greater than the sum of his or her identities. Intersectionality, a term coined by legal scholar Kimberly Crenshaw, is a lens, a prism, for seeing the way in which various forms of inequality often operate together and exacerbate each other. Crenshaw originally used the theory to explain the systemic discrimination against black women, individuals who could not separate the women's experience from the black experience in a legal setting. She uses the case de Graffenried v. General Motors to support her argument. Prior to the year 1964, General Motors hired no black women, but they did hire white women and black men. After a new seniority policy led to the firing of all 5 black women working in the company, the women had no legal grounds on which to base their suit. In essence, the women could not say they were experiencing discrimination based on race alone or gender alone, and, without the term intersectionality, there was no way to describe the unique form of systemic discrimination that affected their lives. Scholars in the field of sociology and philosophy have since expanded the intersectional conversation to include the disability community. However, even though intersectionality is critical in understanding the diverse experiences of individuals with disabilities, little research has focused on how this intersectionality plays out in the economic sphere. Across all racial and ethnic groups, 26% of individuals with a disability are living below the poverty line compared with 11% of individuals without a disability. The poverty rate of BIPOC communities is higher than the rate of white communities regardless of disability status. However, regardless of race and ethnicity, individuals with disabilities are significantly more likely to be living in poverty than those without disabilities. The groups with the highest poverty rates are Black and Indigenous individuals with disabilities. Across all racial and ethnic groups, 35% of individuals without a disability have a bachelor's degree or higher, while 15% of individuals with a disability have similar educational attainment. Again, individuals with disabilities have lower levels of educational attainment within each racial ethnic group, and all racial ethnic minority groups have lower levels of educational attainment when compared to non-Hispanic white individuals. Because educational attainment is such an important factor in employment and income, the lower level of education among adults with disabilities, and especially among BIPOC adults with disabilities, has a significant impact on economic outcomes and the ability to weather the consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Did you like this recommendation? Hit the like button and read it in full by clicking on the link provided in this video description. All citations recommended here are solely for educational purposes. Our aim is to provide the community with access to the educational inclusive materials of excellency we come across. Yours included. If you hold the copyright of any video or article cited here, or you think they should not be available on our channel, please let us know and we'll remove them at your discretion.